Tell me what you got. Number 2.
All right.
I guess I can see where your cursor goes, and I can just paste the same link. If I'm looking at the list,
Take care.
Okay, this one is me, and
oh Jesus,
this one is very short, very, very short.
Oh my God, that looks frightening.
All right, let me get pulled up. This one is very, very short, and there are actually kind of 2 we should watch in sequence because of this, but they're both very short.
All right, look, man. One of these is coming out, bro.
Yeah.
One of them is coming out.
All right.
I can't do this. Right. Nah, bro.
So we've pulled up.
All right, man. Nah.
What the fudge?
The volume going down on this. Nah.
Staying productive. Ignoring the noises downstairs. Oh God. Please, why don't we... Okay.
Nah, bro.
You might need closed captions.
Nah, whoa. I want y'all to know the volume is off right now. The volume is off. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Whatever he said. Nah, that little ASMR nonsense. I ain't doing that. Nope.
Dude, that was...
I don't know what that man just said.
He said...
All I know was...
He said, do you know what day it is? When did you last go outside? When did you last see your friends, your family?
I don't know what that's about, but they can keep that one, bro. They can keep that.
Well,
So
there's
clearly-
one more in that vein, I'm sorry to say, which we may as well get done
it's
with
about
now.
getting
it's the
outside.
link. It's the link above it called Burning. So I'm going to pull that one up right now. And for some reason,
It's shorter. It's shorter, Richard.
Only in
55
144p. I don't know why. It just is. Maybe you'll need closed captions, but I don't know.
It's been a year now. The cycle continues. Watch them.
Oh, so this is like how the thing became. Nah, bro. See, when he start doing that little ASMR whispering, I can't do that no more. No. No. See, that we can't do. We can't. Whatever. That.
All right. I've stopped.
That's where we hit timeout. That's where all the audio was cutting off. I'm not listening to anything you got to say after. Nah, I'm not doing it. Nah, no. No. I don't care what you got to say. No.
It was kind of funny.
No, but
I'm not gonna lie.
Have you ever watched?
ASMR.
Have you ever gone onto Twitch and watched an ASMR stream before? Ever?
You said, have I ever what?
Gone onto Twitch and watched an ASMR stream ever in your life?
A stream, no, but I've seen videos on YouTube.
Right. I went once because I was like, why is this so popular? And man, it was like nails on a chalkboard for me, dude. Just like these wet, ploppy, weird noises onto this microphone that looks like it has a condom on each side of it. It was so bizarre, man. It was just, I was like, it's like that part in Jaws with Quint's nails on the board, man. That's what it felt like. I couldn't do it. I was like, nope, this is not relaxing at all. I just tell my speaker to play White Noise with Rain when I sleep.
To me, it seems almost like this is like an origin story for that monster that was down there.
Yeah.
Because the one that we saw was a person that like wasn't. It's cool in a way because it's like they're like a mirror of one another, right? Because you have the one that like isn't going outside all the time, but then you also have the monster that is down in the basement that wasn't always a monster, that also was never outside but couldn't go outside, always watching others go outside but trying to be productive. This person up here is trying to be productive, but there's a noise downstairs. I'm guessing that noise downstairs might have been the other like monster before they were becoming a monster, when they were banging their head against the wall.
Yeah.
Then they transformed into that monster. Then the person from the first story that we watched then went downstairs, and then that's when the monster in the basement came and was like, "When's the last time that you've been outside?" Yada yada.
It said the monster this time around said, "You still hide. You are decaying as you breathe. You are still in the basement, wreathed in flames." To me, I don't know if I necessarily view this as storytelling horror. To me, this is a form of existential horror. A prodding.
Yeah, I agree.
A prodding at someone who has a dream or a vision or something they want to do, but just don't know how to take the first step, how to get their passions off the ground. And it's encapsulated by this voice, this monster that seemingly lives inside of all visionaries and tells you that you're wasting time. You're decaying as you breathe. You haven't moved. You're still in the basement, wreathed in flames. Like this is the part that's going to sound really artiste, like heavy on the tilde, but like wreathed in flames as in you have a passion and it's powerful and it's beautiful and you have a gorgeous vision. It's as hot as fire and you're drowning in it, but you're in the basement, so it's not going anywhere. That passion will stay with you, and if you stay there, it will die with you. For one, what makes this so scary is there is something about a humanoid figure with a particular kind of cat eye that I find creepy as a visual. But this kind of walks the line between analog horror and existential horror, and it preys on the fears of living a life that has no real impact. Is the way that I came to see this.
Yeah, I think it's all about. It's kind of funny. I feel like it's somebody's own therapy session in an art form. Like maybe this is somebody what they're dealing with, and this is how they found a way to cope with it. That's kind of like the vibe that I'm getting. It's their own mental health on display, their own therapy. And I found that part, if that's what it is, to be enjoyable. Obviously, art is subjective. Everybody can see things differently. And I love that. That's why I love movies. Yeah. But, for this, I enjoyed it because I thought it was also kind of funny. More so the first one, where it's like, be productive. Do all these things. Don't listen to the noise in the basement.
Yeah, ignore it, yeah.
Be productive. Like, just ignore. Like, to me, I took that as, don't face reality. Don't face reality. And then the monster, obviously, it's creepy and eerie. And to me, yes, in a visual sense, it's like, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's, run away. But I think that's what this person has become. There's this facade. There's this, their reality, but then there's the actual reality. At least that's how I took it. The guy could be like, no, but it's just some scary monster. But I don't believe that's just what it is.
Right. And if you have the closed captions on while it's playing, the closed caption after it says do something, anything, the closed captions say, you coward. But the video doesn't.
That's funny. Yeah, no, for me, that's why I was like, okay, this is a connected world, and this is a concept folded onto itself, basically, where when you look at one in isolation, right, both work in isolation, but when you put them together, you realize that it's almost like a loop, right? Where where you have who, even if we were to kind of go with what you were saying, Jack, as far as like there's the reality that we wish was reality, and then there's like the actual reality, and here you have the person that's living in what they wish was reality, right? And the actual reality, right? And those things like coming to a head, right? But I think that like just this idea of being, becoming, not being, I think was like I don't know, it kind of just like oozed from it. And again, like it just seemed to me more so like, even though it was more like you said, Tim, like existential, right? Like borderline analog, right? Mm-hmm. That kind of thing versus more narrative. I feel like there was still a narrative through line. I think that it very much is a story, and it very much is in a world. And I think that it's in the world of whomever this artist is, even if they didn't make it to be that way. I think it came out to be that way.
Right.
And so, yeah, because it's like, I'm almost glad we watched it in the order that we watched it. Mm-hmm. Because it was almost like a reveal. Because in that first video, I saw this thing and I thought it was a scary thing. I thought it was a frightening thing. But then when I watched the next video, I realized it was just a regular thing. It was a regular person, but then driven to madness. Yeah. Right? And then driven to almost reconcile with another version of itself, in a way. In a way that both versions seem hostile to one another. It's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. I don't know, like words aren't wording right now for me, but yeah, I thought it was very interesting. I also found it very frightening. It was terrifying to me. Not conceptually, but it's just like literally like everything that they were doing was so effective, like visually, and also
the piano
through
that's
like audio,
off.
like it was. You said what?
The piano that's off, like it sounds like a student just hacking their way through a song poorly.
Yeah, and then at a certain point it just stops, right? That kind of stuff, right? It's like just these different things, the childlike animation and how things go from light to just a void. Yeah. Right? Like that's the thing, right? It's like you just look into a void, but a void that has eyes, right? A void that's staring back at you. Yeah. Right? That's the thing. It's like it's pretty on the nose in that way. But being able to have like a visual representation of that idea, and especially in such a crude way, I think is like it was terrifying. Again, for me, not even conceptually, just instinctually. Yeah. It was like very off-putting and very frightening. And then when you throw in the, I was like, I'm out of here. I can't do that. Like, I'm telling you, mute. As soon as he started doing that, I'm like, no. Yeah. No, because I am very much, I
like what you're saying about
sounds.
I like what you're saying about like the void and the void looking back at you. Also, what's terrifying is the idea of the void looking back at you and saying, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, that's tough.
And calling you a coward for being there. But yeah, I found these compelling because I haven't really seen anything else like them before. That I feel like in a lot of ways just preys on the instinctive depression that not only a lot of creators have. I think a lot of people have it in general. To say I enjoy it is like, let's put an asterisk on that, because I do think it's incredibly creative. It's also, in a lot of ways, deeply disturbing, I feel like, in the way it was intended to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job on that. Rich is gonna hold his cat and wife real tight tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe I'll work on some stuff, and maybe I won't.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I do like. I feel like this short could never be adapted into a live action, because of what the kind of fear that it preys on. It just it doesn't really work in necessarily in a long form narrative. I don't know what you would have to do to make it work in a narrative, because this is horror that is literally talking to the audience. Literally, it is speaking to the fourth wall. All right, last one.
Here's
Lodestone Films presents.
This is nice. I'm such a sucker for shots like this.
Yeah.
Slow motion, water. I don't know what it is for me, but like it always does something for me.
Ooh. There's the sucker shot.
Yep. Oh, that's all bad.
Water can be like beautiful, but so horrifying at the same time.
Absolutely.
It's the way you can utilize it.
Bruce Lee taught me that.
Mm-hmm. Be like water, my friend.
Yeah.
She is in a bad way.
Oh.
Oh yeah, she's cooked. She's cooked. She's cooked, bro. You're not getting out of that one. Ooh, her leg. Oh, her leg is done.
Nice. I love this concept. I love stuff like that.
It's almost like the water was meant to establish a mood rather than tell a story.
Don't do it that way. Don't do it that way.
I'm trying to think of what the hell I would do. Oh no, man.
Turning over ain't gonna help you. It's not gonna help you, sis. It's not.
I just start scrolling on TikTok.
Well, her leg's like under her.
Yeah, but I'm like, what did she just do? Was she trying to just wipe it off, or?
I don't know.
I will say I can already tell this didn't need to be a 9-minute short. Could have been a 5-minute short.
Yeah, what are we at now? Five? Yeah, we're at 5 minutes.
Kind of feels like it cruised by.
Not to me.
Really?
I just feel like there's a lot of just established, like this shot I've seen a bajillion times by now. I'm sure it's going to get even better now in the second half. But I feel like it just didn't need to be so repetitive.
She's like trying to like dry her hands off to get more grip.
What? Oh, nah. Yeah, because if it starts raining, you're cooked, bro. You're cooked if it starts raining. Yeah, you might as well just jump off at this point.
that a rosary? What is that? Just a necklace.
Yeah, rip.
I don't think she made it.
Bye-bye. Hey, shout out to Lauren.
Winner of Best Short at Fantastic Fest in 2016.
There must have not been a lot of competition.
Rip.
Yikes.
I'm surprised it got 10 million. I mean, here's the thing, man. I don't really have a whole lot to say other than the pacing was my hugest problem. I think the idea was to get you to root for her to make it. You know, the little 20,000 frickin' times I have to see her blow her frickin' hands. And then the side shots, just at first it was captivating. Like the idea that you can't escape is truly horrifying. But how many times I have to see this? This took about 30 seconds, by the way. Bruh. I'm sorry you died, but I could use 9 minutes of my life to watch a better short, probably. I don't know, but that's just me. I feel like I'm in the minority, and hey, props to the people behind this project, the actor. I don't think the acting was bad. Don't get me wrong, lady. You did good. I thought the CGI or whatever was decent. But that's crazy. This one, man, there really probably wasn't a lot of competition. It just was the pacing. That's it. It just got really repetitive and boring to me. That's like the simplest way of putting it. Too long. It was a little boring. Great concept. Should have been a 3 to 4 minute short.
It's funny because for me, that's why I was like dying, because I knew that, like, I was just looking at your face, bro. I just already knew, like, you just were not feeling it. It's really funny because for me, this short had the best acting out of all of them. To me, this was the most believable. Not because she was, crying, whatever. It was just like, I saw despair on her. Like, not just because I saw the curves or I saw she was going to fall or whatever else, but like, I felt her. Like, whenever we would look her in the eyes, I felt it. When she screamed with rage at the end, because she was screwed and she knew it. Like, I could identify with that. I was actually all right with the repetition. That's kind of the motif of the thing, right? Is like unending cycle of like pain, right? It's like this impending doom that you're constantly moving toward, and it's almost like the more that you strive to get away from it, the closer you actually are to falling. We're not all mathematicians, but like basic shapes and also the kind of stuff, like we've been alive long enough to know, like, you're not getting out of that.
Speak for yourself. It's like, I got a C in math.
All right. It's like if you've ever been at a skate park, right? Like sometimes the bowl is like way too steep. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not meant for you to like walk up. It's brutal. It's visceral. Like it's a slow burn. It's almost cyclical in a way. I think I might have even made a remark the first time that she did it, when she raised her hand. I was like, what is she doing? Like, I didn't understand it, because it was like she did this and then she did that. At first I thought she was like maybe reaching for something. I do think, however, that having the water, like having the rain happen at the end, I feel like was a perfect ending for it. Even if they didn't show the whole thing with the waves in the beginning, I still think that the rain was just perfect, because any shred of hope that you had, it's gone.
Yeah.
At that point, it's over. And that's why for me, the whole chain thing, I don't know for anyone else, but that was random to me. Like, I didn't know. I was like, is that like a rosary or something?
I thought
or what?
So at first.
What's going on here?
I think it was her last shot at creating more traction
like friction
on her hand.
Yeah.
Now that it's raining.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that, but I mean, it was so late in the game. Like, literally, we'd already watched this for like 7.5 minutes, right? I will say, though, even with all those critiques, that I really, really did enjoy that one. Like, I'm actually surprised at how much I enjoyed that one. I feel like there's something about it visually that really resonated with me. But I think also, like, I also think it was like the acting for me. Like, honestly, like, I don't know, I just felt like there was something that felt like authentic to me, like this, and more than just like, oh, I'm scared because there's a being that's trying to gobble me up underneath. Like, I felt those different stages of her processing the kind of situation that she's in.
Visually, I think this is a pretty stunning one. I think the coloring's done really well. Even some of like the little minor things I appreciated. Like when she wakes up, the focus racks along the rock wall just to show, almost as if to say, there's nothing else to see. Another shot I appreciated, you kind of hit the nail on the head with the word cyclical, because one of the things that struck me is when she blows her hands and wipes them off and puts her fingers back down, you can see that she's made no progress. She's putting it right back down onto the bloodstains that she already made. A true testament to how little she can do. There is what feels like a very pessimistic inevitability at play. And I think the actress did a really good job pulling that out. Written and directed by Tim Egan. Good work, Tim.
Hey, a comment said, the spider in your sink.
That's funny. I hear what you're saying about how long it was. Yes, I can understand and even partially agree with the notion that the repetition didn't have to take so much time. I think there was some method to the madness, so to speak, in taking a long time to let that despair settle, to let the inevitability of her demise become just as concrete to the audience as it became to her. It's a slow burn horror. There's no monster that you can see, whether it's a thing down there or the abyss is the thing down there, as the author says it is. All right, so that was this year of horror shorts. Someday, somehow, Richard will submit a horror short for all of us to watch, but not this year, not 2024.
But not this day.
Not this day. Yeah, do all the things. Hit like, hit subscribe. We got Joseph Curtis here with his own YouTube channel. The channel's called Joseph Curtis. He is an active movie critic and a part of the Seattle Film Critics Society. My name is Timothy. I'm a freelance videographer. I'm not a part of any special club. Rich, you don't post like a lot of YouTube stuff, but you're obviously very active in the community, hosting film competitions and part of a big group of people who do filmmaking over in the general Memphis 3-hour radius of Memphis area. Happy Halloween. Don't scare your kids too bad. And please be nice to them if you're going to prank them saying you ate all their candy. Don't be total dicks about it.
Don't forget to be blessed.
Oh, yeah, do that too.